Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about, this kind of disease. It's kind of complex. First, it includes several diseases. It's like a family of diseases, but a very complicated one, of course. So, first, let's talk about Marburg. The disease is called Marburg, even though it's from Africa, but it has a German name. Why? It's because that, of course, the disease first happened in Germany in 1967. At that time, it's, of course, the only kind of disease of that kind known, of course. So, this is the first kind of Ebola known. It's called Marburg, of course. It kills 4 and 5 people, at least not as bad as Marburg. No, not that one. Ebola Nairi, I think. It's very complex. The date was 1967. Okay, first let's talk about Charles Monnet. I'm not going to talk too complex, but at least you can get some idea. One day in New Year's Eve, 1980, Charles Monnet, a French, I don't know who, a French visitor? No, certainly not. I think someone who's an amateur, of course. So, let's continue. Then, you see that, of course, he wants with a woman there and probably touches some poop there. And after 8 days on 8th January 1980, he had throbbing pain behind his eyeballs. Then, after at least 5 days, he got sent to hospital. They could find no known cure for him. So he was sent to another hospital. But actually, his disease was worsening. His Marburg is worsening. First, his liver had ceased working around 3 days before he died. Then, it was yellow and part of it had liquefied. Then, his stomach, he had blood in his stomach and intestines. And part of his, and of course, part of his gut or intestine has fallen off, and he vomited up. After that, he had extreme disease, which, of course, you die. You're probably going to die, of course. 99% going to die. 99.99% you're going to die. Because it means it means a single eyedropper of your blood could have several 100 million copies of the bacteria. And your blood is basically just fresh blood along with broken red blood cells and white blood cells. After that, he died with intensive care with a doctor called Dr. Shimosuke. He was one of the leading doctors at the hospital. And he got the disease probably because pieces of black vomit flew into his eyeballs. But luckily he survived. But he needed surgery. And 10 days later, he became slightly better. He seemed like his personality had gone back a bit. Then after many days, his fever subsided, and finally, his personality came back. So now he's a leading physician of that hospital, the Bari East Hospital. And I think I liked him a bit. Even though he risked his life, at least he tried his best. Anyway, it's hard to save a patient when they have several 100 million copies of virus or bacteria in your blood. So be careful, never go to Africa, especially Central, Western, Eastern, and South Africa, except South Africa. But I still don't recommend you go to Cape Town. Seriously. This could cost you your life. Then by that 1994, there are around 4 kinds of that kind of Ebola. First, Ebola Marburg, Ebola Sudan, Ebola, what is it called? I forgot. What is it? But never mind. Then the last one, Reston. It was discovered in the United States, so that's why it's called Reston. I think the one that's less lethal, I think it's probably Reston, because 4 people have got it and they all survived. The one had a heart attack, one had his stomach spilled out. No, I didn't say blood. It just means he vomited. And then number 4, both went sick and went home, but they all survived. So they are the only survivors. Well, not the only. Remember Shimasuka and the other survivors. But by 2019, I think there are around 6 kinds of Ebola, but I still don't know much about them. And I think this is the end of the first part of Ebola. Still to be continued. Goodbye!